Hi creative friends, this is Sreya and thank you so much for being here. So I haven't been recording these past few days because the weather has been terribly gloomy and I turned on my camera to record, but it really wasn't picking up on the colors. And like I mentioned before, when I turn on my art lights, I can work, but when I turn on my art lights and record, it flattens out all the colors. So hopefully I can make this video. The sun is out today and I'm so happy about that. But I just wanted to show you guys, because I am totally obsessed with this paint a monster concept, I just wanted to show you guys a few of the portraits I have been working on. So this is obviously in its very beginning stages, but I am so absolutely loving what's going on here. Like I could just make a few tweaks to this and I could be happy with it. I don't know. I'm just so in love with just so much of what's going on here. I'm going to bring it up closer. But the paint quality is just so expressive and delicious and rich. And the lady that I am working on is this lady over here. So I'm just going to dive right in and I'm going to work a lot on the push-pull. In this segment, I'm just going to be using cool colors to push parts of the painting that I want to recede into the background, and I want to use my warmer colors and my lighter values to pull stuff forward. And I'm gonna bring this up closer. I also do love what is going on in this spread. I didn't mean to have our eyes closed, but it kind of turned out that way and I'm happy with that. So anyways, I am just going to lay down some blues here because I want to push, like I want to push parts of this back here, because you know, if you run your fingers like along your eye, you're gonna see that these corners over here, they do go back in space. So just want to kind of go like so. And I think I'm gonna use some of this yellow ink over here just to kind of warm things up a bit. So this is a very warm yellow and it's ink. It's called Dried Marigold by Tim Holtz and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's just part of like a stash of inks that I found in my studio that I'd completely forgotten about, honestly. And I'm just gonna kind of like... Now in this stage, it's gonna look kind of choppy, kind of like a paint by numbers a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm just working on the push-pull part of it. Ooh, I just love this yellow. It's just like a buttery, like a butterscotch. So pretty. And just kind of like dipping some of that in there. And now, so you guys, you know, working like this, it might seem a bit tedious. like in the sense of, you know, there is a lot of like push pull. I'm covering things up, I'm bringing things, you know, back to life, etc. But honestly, that's where the magic happens, because I never know like what's going to happen, how it's going to turn out. Like, I kind of look at it as an adventure. Like, I just don't know. And I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. Like, I don't want to be able to plan everything out and kind of go, oh, I know how this is going to turn out. I don't want that. I like the spontaneity. I like the not knowing. I like the just kind of being, you know, open to whatever might show up, I guess. It's kind of like a journey. You know, it takes you on a journey. I'm looking at it that way. And I actually enjoy it. Now, working in this way is not going to be for everybody, of course, but I am really loving it. And I'm going to drop some of this ink. And I really honestly don't know how many of you guys are working in this way and following along. I just happen to have this ink laying around. But, you know, if you guys don't have ink, you can still work in this way. I would just water down your acrylics and make it really fluid in the beginning stages, because I'm using inks in the beginning stages. I mean, I'm using acrylics too, don't get me wrong, but I'm also using inks. So I'm just going to drop some of that there. And so, like I said, you guys, this part is going to look a bit kind of choppy, you know, like a little bit paint by numbers, but it's totally fine. And I'm kind of wondering about the hair situation here. I think I'm going to add some brown here to the hair just to kind of give it some dimension. And I was thinking about adding some text to the background when it dries, so I might do that when it completely dries. I think that might be interesting. And I am going to add a little bit of that. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit closer here. And even though it does look a bit sketchy, can you see how I use the blues to push stuff further back in space? And what you do is you take, if you're painting a face, just take your fingers and run it gently along your own face. And, just be very mindful of whatever recedes, that's going to be cool. So say, these like, the ends of your eyes over there, this part, the end of, this side of your eye, it's going to curve. It's going to go back in space. Like over here, that's your forehead. That's going to recede a little bit. Run your fingers over your lips, your chin, your neck, and just kind of get familiar with the parts of your face that, recede in space and the parts that um, like jut out in space, that come forward. And the parts that recede, you are generally going to use cooler colors, darker values, and the parts that come forward in space, you're gonna use warmer colors and lighter values. Anyways, you guys, if you have watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.